Yo, Moshow, 13th letter to the cipher. And this afternoon, I want to talk to you about a serious issue that's going on in schools right now in New York, in Brooklyn, that is or may spread across country. It's about having drag queens and drag kings in school to entertain elementary students. Like, are you serious? Drag queens and drag queens are allowed and are paid to be in these schools to entertain your children during reading hour. What do you think about that? You're sending your school years coming up. Bang. You send your child to school and he or she is being entertained by a pedophile. How do you feel about that? When a black man, i.e., cannot get paid and somewhat not allowed, is really banned upon not to even speak positive messages to children in public schools, but they allow drag queens and drag kings. Check this out. According to the state of New York, they have 31 names for homosexuality or genders. I'm sorry. 31 different types of gender in the state of New York. Just for a few of them, one is called Gender Blender. Gender Blender. Another one is called, what's the name here? Androgen. How could you classify, what the fuck is an androgen? Like, really? What is an androgen? Drag king, drag queen. Androgynous. A butch, a BTM, and so forth. These are the type of names that people are being classified as in regards to genders in the state of New York. Would you send your child knowingly to a house or an apartment or a setting that involves homosexuality? Would you do that, yes or no? And you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, meaning that if it goes for male, it'll have to go for female. But we're talking about children. We're talking about children that's 5 years old all the way up to 13, 14 years old to 8th grade. Public schools. Now, the high schools, they may be able to get away with it. But the fact remains that I can't do that. I can't do what I need to do to fill that gap mentally, historically. I can't go into a, they won't pay me to do it in the school. They won't pay me to do it in the school. I mean, I can't even get into a school to do it. They shoot me down. I go suited and booted. I may even give them my proposition, which I have. I'm a substitute teacher. So I've done these things, but they would allow a pedophile to come in and get paid and entertain your child that you send to school during reading hour. If you don't believe me, look up PS 94, meaning Public School New York 94, number 94, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. And you just won't see one video. You see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is across the city. Not to mention, ironically, this comes right after the FXM series called Posse with the homosexuality among the black community. In fact, in the early 1970s is when Hollywood really concentrated on homosexuality in the black community. A great example of this would be Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson, one of the black famous comedians, hands down. He's one of the progenitors. However, they did, I don't know if he did it. I don't know if it was part of his writing or if it was Hollywood. But the thing was, it was introduced and he was a character named Geraldine. Okay? He was a character named Geraldine. And he played and dressed up as a woman. Same thing that was done with Martin. What was her name? Shanae. They asked Dave Chappelle to do something like that, but Dave Chappelle, like, screw you, I'm not doing it. He stood his ground. He went and he hid away for a little while after they offered him all of that money, but that's besides the point. The point is that pedophiles are being allowed to come into the school to entertain your children. Period. Where's your voice on this? How do you feel about it? I mean, really. I mean, it's sad enough that they are dumbing down the children anyway. They're even dumbing down adults. You have what we call smartphones. Smartphones make you dumb. Okay, now, what do you do with these kids here that you're teaching homosexuality to and gender and transgender to and allowing this to happen? You must remember that homosexuality didn't even really come into play until the history of the Greeks. Greek freaks. Ironically, that's what they call that guy that played for the Milwaukee Bucks. What's his name? Atamnatukan, whatever his name is. Greek the freak. But anyway, that's another lesson. You have nothing to say about that. You don't find nothing wrong with that. You can't. You don't find nothing wrong with that. How you can't find nothing wrong with that? And if you don't say something. Say something. Say something. These are your children whom you send off to school every day. And this is part of their curriculum that they're going to be taught about homosexuality and all of this is in their curriculum. Look at where you're going to. Look at the people that you're voting for. I mean, now even homosexuality and pedophiles, they even get a break. They give them blow-up dolls. They even make their crime somewhat misdemeanors now. You're a sex offender, but sometimes it's misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. Are you fucking serious? This is where we at, people. These are the people that you vote for. These are the people that you believe in. These are the people that you vote for that lock your kids up. People, these are the people that you vote for that allows homosexuality into the schools to be introduced to kids and say that it's okay to watch Pete over here stroke off, or it's okay to look at Shorty Booty over here. It's okay for you to be a girl and go into the guy's bath. Come on, like, you for real, man? This is where we at. This is where we at. I mean, we have become a nation of freaks. We've become a nation of freaks. If you allow this to happen and don't say anything, that means you too are part of the nation of freaks. They've already dumbed our children down. Now they're turning them out. And you have nothing to say about it. But let me come and speak something positive to your kid, and you'll tell me, nigga, get the fuck out of my face. You need to go and take care of your own kid. But I would have to say my children are grown at this point. Way grown. And they make their own decision and they got children. But anyway, yeah. Just think about that. Pedophilia, pedophiles, teaching or entertaining your children. What is the message? What is the purpose for this? What is it going to be next? Strippers and prostitution? Speaking of prostitution, seems like we've all become prostitutes to the system. We're all getting pimped to this system. And by us being pimped to this system. Let me get a cigarette, please. Yes, that's right. I need one right now. I really need something else. But I'm going to smoke this cigarette. And I will have a drink. I'm not kidding. I smoke a cigarette and I have me a drink. Cheerios to you. So yeah, what do you think about that? You have a 7-year-old Chester dude in school now, looking at the 5-year-old booty, you know, because they're being influenced by this. So if you're a black man and you can't find your woman, or if you want something new and you want a whole new different life where it's guaranteed for you to get a woman that may be doing pretty good for herself that can help you get on your feet, go to Georgia. You can't find a chick in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm sorry for you. You just bad news. You may be a fag yourself. But seriously though, it's even widespread on the television with this program that I mentioned earlier called Posse. But then they have another television program entitled Animal Kingdom, where you see all of these beastly acts. I mean, they don't hide it at all. They just get gritty right with it on TV. This is what society has become. A nation of bestiality people. Bestiality people. And we don't care. We don't care. And I'm talking about we as a whole. Because, hell, I'm living in a cesspool with these people. Aren't you? Aren't your children? Speaking of which, why do you really send your children to school anyway? My advice to you, being an educator myself, homeschool your children. Homeschool your children. Who can teach your children better than you? That means that you may have to do some reviewing yourself on a lot of material, especially this math. This math they got nowadays, Common Core math. But while they should be reading, they learning about how to be a drag queen or how to be a drag king. And they get paid for it to teach your kids. If you don't have nothing to say about it, that means you're being part of the problem. You're actually helping transform not only the children, but the society into something that is way beyond unnatural. If you want an example of what I'm talking about, read sometime. Read about Greek. Read about Roman. Read about the old Greeks. Read about the old Romans. Read about Sicario. The guy who fought with Hannibal, who was surnamed Africanus. And we'll go from there, but Greeks are the freaks. They even called the black man Greek the freak, like I said, in basketball, and he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. But that's just something for you to think about. I won't get off into all of that other good stuff, but if you allow homosexuality to take place in the school where you send your children to be educated, and you have nothing to say about it, and you find nothing wrong with it, you are being a disservice to your child. Also, last but not least, a lot of people are being informed about a lot of things, and a lot of people are being waking up, but this is also, I look at as a distraction to what's really going on. I mean, black people being killed every day. Black men, young black boys are being turned out by older black men, meaning making them gay, making them a juicy booty, a sugar booty. Yeah, I mean, look at all of the actors and entertainers and people that you know that may have. Look what happened with African Bambaataa. Like, for real. And he was juicing them little boys. But I'm not going to stand up for the man. He made good music and he hung around a lot of great people and made a lot of great artists like KRS. KRS was who he was, but Africa Bambaataa helped him. But, then you may have to ask the question, did he approach KRS? You never know. But the fact remains that this type of shit goes on every day in the black community. And when you hear a young black man or a young black girl say she's been did this way or did that way, investigate that. Don't take it lightly. I don't want to say just go off and kill somebody, because you may end up being killed yourself by the white people. Speaking of which, you're a black man. I don't need to tell you this. You're a black man in America, and you doing something wrong in America, you better not get caught. You better not get caught. And if you're doing wrong right now, I tell you, don't do wrong enough to let the universe catch up with your ass. Do you hear me? I want to say that again. If you're a black man in America, don't get caught doing wrong. Don't get caught doing wrong. And if you're doing wrong, stop doing wrong before the universe catches up with you. Because when the universe catches up with you, black man, it's going to be one of two things. Harm from another black male, jail, prison. And we don't run a prison, okay? We don't run a prison. So stop doing that dumb shit. Don't get caught with your pants down. It's a real nasty price to pay. And many of us can't afford it. Hell, can't afford it. Over 63% of Americans, period, across the nation, don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. And these are people who work every day. They work every day. So it's safe to say we all get pimped. White and black. Hispanic, Chinese. Even though some are doing better than others in regards to cultures, neighborhoods, and having some cohesiveness among people, especially among people that look like you. Why don't we come in last with that? Willie Lynch syndrome is still in effect today. I mean, we don't even trust each other with $1. If I had $1,000, check this out. When you get money, don't be stingy either. When you get money, don't be stingy. When you get money, don't be stingy. If you got $10,000 in the bank and your guy needs $100, fucking give it to him. Don't be fucking stingy. You can't take it with you. And besides, that's going to be the same fucking person you're going to be calling. Okay? So don't play yourself. Love yourself. Eat right. Eat right. Stop eating all of that swine, black people. Stop eating all of that pork. Would you stop it? Look at your ankles. Look at your legs. And I'm not talking about the young people. I'm talking about, I'm talking about people my age, 50 years old, health fucked all up because they've been eating that fucking swine. It's no good for you, but you keep eating it anyway. I'm smoking. Yeah, I am. I got to stop smoking. But I tell you like this, I don't have the problems that you have. Like I said, I'd rather be smoking something else, something natural. Anything unnatural is not good for you. Come to think of it, I found out that beans and rice are not natural. They're unnatural. It's like soybeans. Soybeans is for animals. They feed that. That's the number one animal feed across the world, not America, but the world. Soybean, but you got me now? But that's what you eat. And stop giving your children milk. Talking about milk is good for you. Don't let white America sell you on that. Milk is bad for you. Milk is, look, check this out. I'm gonna tell you how silly people are, especially black people. And I say us, and I'm so hard on us because we're the best. We've been brought down, reduced to the bottom of a shoe. Okay? So I have to be hard on us, but I'm being real at the same time. Okay? Milk is bad for you. You have a cow, right? Well, you have a baby cow, a calf. Do you see the calf still sucking on the mama tit after 3-4 years old? Do you? You don't, do you? But it's good for you, but it's not good for them. And that's their mother. And they don't drink. You understand what I'm saying? It gives you stomach cancer. And among some other things. Just, if you don't believe me, just research it, because I know you don't believe nothing black man says, especially me. But just research it yourself. And if you can find something wrong with what I'm saying, you have my info. And if you don't, well, subscribe to the channel. 13th letter, cipher. We'll get back at you. And string. And